The headline from the Lufkin Daily News. Spare relationship causes awkward split. Stephen F. Austin State University assistant bowling coach Steve Lemke chose to resign rather than be fired this spring. Why? Because the university discovered he had an affair with a student athlete. He's the assistant bowling coach. Okay. Are there any more details that are pertinent? Oh, his wife is the head coach of the bowling team. He resigned April 10th from the program he helped coach to 2 national titles and 2 second-place finishes. So I didn't know the Lumpies were good at bowling. Shout out to that bowling program. That is a dynasty. That is a dynasty. 2 second-place finishes, 2 championships. That's like the Astros.
I was going to say that's basically what the Astros have done.
That's like the Astros. So a bowling dynasty has come to an end because perhaps the assistant bowling coach and a bowler had an affair. And the quotes from Steve Lemke, who for whatever reason decided, yeah, I'm going to go on the record here, are effing awesome.
This what makes the story, because, you know,
the rest is just like, oh, okay.
Yeah,
a bowling dynasty comes to an end. You know, the rise and fall of Stephen F. Austin. They'll do a 30 for 30 on it someday. They probably should if this guy is in front of a microphone, because he is glorious.
At least 3-part documentary.
That's probably what it will end up being. Steve Lemke defended his actions, said the relationship was consensual, but might have been, quote, amplified to the magnitude that it is now because of the national championship caliber that we've developed. So he's saying, like, yeah, this is a bigger deal because, you know why? Because we're good.
Rings. Heavy as the crown.
Heavy as the crown for me, the assistant bowling coach banging one of the bowlers. I guess it's just an ethics code. Like, we frown upon it, but there's no rule. There's no law broken. And he really wants people to know that there were no laws broken. Like, it's okay for an assistant coach to sleep with a player. And I guess it's true. It's a consensual relationship. Continued Lemke, quote, I knew it was kind of a no-no, but there's not a rule saying it can't happen. There's not a law saying I'm going to go to jail for something like this. There's nothing in stone. I guess it's just an ethics code. Like, we frown upon it, but there's no rule. There's no law broken. Does this sound like a guy who wants to keep that relationship going? He wants to keep clapping them cheeks.
He's Zion Williamson texting back Mariah Mills.
100%, John. That is exactly what is going on here. The affair with the bowler was discovered how? Gets better, guys. Every single quote from Steve Lemke, it just gets more and more funny. His wife, again, the head coach of the bowling team, saw a text message from her on her phone. So, of course, she's going to recognize who it is. Said Steve of the text, it didn't have anything in detail. It was just about how amazing I am, basically. In general perspective. Amber saw that and questioned me, and I got to the point where it just built up so much that I basically told her the truth after she dug through my phone. Well, yeah, because there's probably some, like, raunchy text, I would imagine, in there.
This guy's so great. I've met so many of these guys in my travels of Northeast Texas, because my family's from Longview, which is about halfway.
Assistant bowling coaches?
No.
That are banging their players?
No coaches in my family.
Okay.
No, but there's so many dudes that I've met that are like this general demeanor that this guy has about his life crumbling, like him losing his job and his marriage, and he's just kind of like, yeah, you know, crazy stuff happens. I don't know what to tell you. It's tough because we're such a good bowling program. That's the real tragedy in this.
That's why I had to resign. I wouldn't have otherwise if we weren't such a good program.
Other places you can brush this under the rug.
I broke no laws, and she thinks I'm amazing. Like, didn't go further. It would have been really funny if she's like, well, she thinks I have a big Johnson. Like, if that was something that was said.
But you would like me to maybe hit the treadmill a little bit more.
She thinks I'm ripped and have a six-pack and a big schlong. Like, that's what it sounds like he was about to say.
He slipped into a little bit of Kenny Powers there, where he's like, I'll tell you what, I rocked her world. Like,
right.
Like, as my life is crumbling, I need to let you know I'm good at sex.
You know what? Whoever this journalist is did a great job of getting this guy to talk, but I wish he had gotten more details here. And by the way, a couple of people on the Twitch have commented, hey, like, shouldn't he publicly apologize for this? I don't think he's going to. He actually thinks he's the victim here. This quote,
This last one?
amazing.
Oh my God.
I was the stay-at-home dad for 5 years with the kids, while Amber got to go off and coach the team. Wow. Claiming victim by being a stay-at-home dad. Who doesn't want to be a stay-at-home dad?
Every other weekend, she left our home in Nacogdoches to go to Huntsville, and to go to Shreveport.
The Battle of the Piney Woods Bowling.
Do you know how hard it is?
And again, this took place in Lufkin, like up the road. This continues. I'd run practice on top of taking care of the kids while she was back. When they'd travel again, I would sit back and take care of the kids. Then when I got hired on, she almost forced me to run practices. You're an assistant coach! I was a volunteer the entire time before that, trying to help out Amber. Once I got hired on, one thing stemmed from another. I felt like I was doing too much for what I was being valued at. So I started banging one of the players.
He was a disgruntled employee, and then he was like, you know what? You know how I'm going to get back at my wife?
I'm gonna bang.
Sleep with one of the bowlers.
One of the players, right. But she thinks I'm amazing, and I did nothing wrong, and it's totally consensual. I gotta say, this is one of my favorite sports stories ever, and we gotta have this guy on the show. You laugh. Why? What? You think he won't go on the radio to tell his side of the story?
Yeah, no, maybe.
Do you want to just like pretend like, hey, we're on your side, Steve? We're on your side.
I don't know how I'm gonna reach out to him because.
What else did she say you were amazing at, Steve?
Can't go through SFA SID, I imagine.
Probably not, because he's resigned. Because again, this was too much to bring upon the two-time champion, two-time runner-up Stephen F. Austin Lumberjack bowling team.
To be fair, that is what we have to give him the most credit for. Apparently, he and his wife are great coaches.
That's true.
Him and his soon-to-be ex-wife.
Through all the dysfunction.
Yeah.
You know what? Iron sharpens iron.
It's like the Last Dance Bulls.
Stay-at-home dads sharpen national championships. Yeah, man. What a story.